Hello and welcome to this video about making the most of your Business Buzz app profile within obviously the Buzz app. Today we're going to look at how you set up your profiles for your personal profile and also your business profile. But before I get into that, I'd just like to show you where the information appears on the Buzz app so that you understand why we're asking you to make the most of this opportunity to tell everybody about who you are and what you do. So first of all, I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to use my profile as the example. So I'm just going to scroll down to the Solihull Buzz event, which is the next one that I'm running. As you can see, I'm up here as the host. But whether you're a host or an ambassador, when somebody clicks on the More Information tab here, what will happen is they get more information about the event. So I'm shown as the host here. And you can see I've got a couple of paragraphs about who I am. There's a sponsor here and another sponsor further, and a couple of other sponsors further down. But if I had ambassadors as part of this event, then the ambassadors would appear here before the sponsors appear with information about who they are. In addition to the information appearing here, you go to the directory, which is where all of our core Business Buzz people can be found. So that's not only Business Buzz hosts and ambassadors, but also our Buzz Plus community. So if I type my name in here, I can type, here we are, brings me up. And when I click on this, it not only brings up my my information about myself. This is my personal profile at the top, but it also brings up information about my business as well, and my business profile too. So all of the content that I have on my profiles relates to me being a Business Buzz regional lead across the Midlands. So you'll find it's all talking about that. But as you can see here, I've got a link to my Facebook account and a link to my LinkedIn account as well. So how do we make this appear and how do we make this happen? So the first place to go is in the top right hand corner on the app, you'll find there's a drop down list, and here you can have your profile. So this is about you mostly as an individual within your business. So some of the information is personal and some of the information is business. So the obvious things to start with are your name, both your first name and your last name, your business email address. Don't forget that this will be published on the Business Buzz app in those two locations. So when people search for you, you want them to contact you through your business contacts, your business information. So I've got my business email address here, and I've got my business mobile phone number here. My title, I can type my title in. So I'm the regional lead for Business Buzz, and I can add an organization. I'm not going to click on this because we'll come back to that. But when you add an organization, it should be your business name. But if you're a franchisee, it is helpful to distinguish you from somebody else within your franchise group. So you might want to write your name in brackets perhaps, or you might want to write your location so that you stand out and you're distinguished from somebody else who's also running a franchise within a similar franchise to you. You can add skills to your profile. So here, I've got business consultant, business networking, event organizer, and workshops. But if I suddenly decided to become a will writer, I can find will writers here, and by clicking on it, it adds it to my skill set. Now, if I make a mistake, I can remove will writer by clicking on the little X. This is not absolutely everything is covered in skills at the moment, but please, if your particular skill is missing, please either contact myself as regional lead for Northamptonshire or Warwickshire, or Emma Smith, who's the regional lead for Leicestershire, and we'll liaise with Buzz HQ to get your skill added. They are this is an ongoing process. They don't happen instantly, but they are working with the app developer to add more more skills so that we can be more comprehensive. So you should then input a biography about yourself. And if you remember from looking at the more information, the actual space between the paragraphs was missing. So, and it will only pick up the first two paragraphs that you write. And we would recommend that you write a short paragraph or a couple of paragraphs about who you are. and why you do what you do. We don't need you to put a great big huge lengthy synopsis in about your life story here. BuzzHQ have asked that we limit the formatting, certainly in the first 2 paragraphs, so that there's almost no formatting at all, because the app doesn't recognize the formatting when it's publishing that information across to the profiles, particularly in these first 2 paragraphs. So moving on from there, the biography, as I said, should be about who you are and maybe why you do what you do. You can add a profile pic. It's a roundel profile pic, so if you can download as a save as your LinkedIn profile, that's a great way to get a really good picture of you. The resolution is quite low, the images are quite small, so they don't have to be high-res images. You can add your LinkedIn profile here, and you can add your Facebook and your Instagram profile as well. Now, below that, as part of the Buzz Plus community, you receive the option to put an advert out on the Buzz newsfeed about your business or about who you are. And here you should be able to upload either a static image or, as I've done here, a GIF. On this occasion, I'm not going to go into this in huge amounts of detail. Uploading the static image is really straightforward, but if you're interested in a GIF, I have another set of information that I can send separately to cover the GIF element as well. And then you want a call to action. So my call to action is about starting the conversation today, and I actually direct people to the Buzz Location webpage so that they can see whether there's a Buzz in their local town or their community. So when this is published on the Buzz app newsfeed, when they click on this card, this GIF, it automatically takes to the Buzz locations page on the website. So I hope that covers the personal profile, your profile. Of course, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to either myself or Emma. We're always here to help. So let's move on. I'm just going to close this down. Let's now move on to location settings. So when you log on to the Buzz app for the first time, the location settings are set to auto. We would recommend that you change that to a manual setting, and then you want to type in your town. So this is the point where your radius for what you see on the Buzz app will be reflected. So I've chosen Rugby because Rugby sits nicely right in the centre of the Northamptonshire, Warwickshire and Leicestershire regions, and I've also made it my hometown. Now I want to see all the events that are within a 30-mile or 48-kilometre range from Rugby. So that encompasses all of the Buzz events that I look after as regional lead, but it also adds Banbury and Chipping Norton to that as well. So when I'm scrolling through the Buzz app on the newsfeed, I see the information about Banbury and Chipping Norton as well. And what you can do here is you can change this. So if you want to see absolutely everything, you can make it -1, and that will then give you every Buzz event that you can imagine, all 50 or so of them. But I would personally recommend you keep it to about 40 to 48 kilometers, because a 30-mile radius is, most of us don't travel outside of a 30-mile radius. So that's really straightforward to set up. And again, any questions, please reach out to either myself or Emma. So just logging on to security settings. So here you can add profile logins. So if you get logged out of the app and you want to log in really in a simple way, you can use your LinkedIn profile to do that. And we would encourage everybody who's new, who's walking through the Buzz events, is to encourage them wherever possible to register using their LinkedIn profile. It's a much quicker and simpler process. I don't particularly have a Facebook account that I want to add here. Got my LinkedIn account, I've got my Buzz login account. You can update and change your password here. And I also have two-factor authentication. So if I'm logged out by mistake on my mobile phone, when I try to log back in, Buzz will send me a passcode to make that secure. So because people for our visitors, their bank details are stored within their Buzz profiles as well. So I'm just going to close that down. Again, any questions regarding that, please come and speak to either myself or Emma. And lastly, I'm going to look at the company profile. So this is very similar to your personal profile in the sense that I have my company name here. And as I said, when you create a new organization, if you're a franchisee, really is worth distinguishing yourself from the next franchisee within your group by either putting your name in brackets or adding your location. I've got my business address here. So 28 Cotswolds Way, Calvert, Buckingham, and my postcode, MK182FH. There's one employee in my business. You don't need to fill in the revenue section. Again, here I have my business phone number and I have my business website because I have a Buddha Connect website as well. So I share that in that website space as well because this relates to this bit at the top. In here, I have added a description around my business. So again, here, this is talking about all the Business Buzz events that I'm involved with because that is now the core of my business. And I'm transitioning more and more across to that. So here I have formatted this, but when you, this doesn't appear in the more info part, but it does appear in the Buzz directory profile. But again, as you can see, I haven't formatted the first paragraph within the profile. I've added my trades and my sectors here. Again, it's very similar to the skills before. I put business networking and event organization, but if I was an HR consultant, I can find HR consultancy, can add it in. And if I know I've made a mistake, once again, I can click on the X to remove it. Okay. For most of us as small business owners, we won't necessarily have members and admin, but for larger organizations where particularly our sponsor organizations who have Buzz Plus profiles, they will have multiple people who are part of their business who visit Business Buzz, and they will have allocated a person as an admin role, and then there will also be people who work for that business who are members. So with the Buzz app, the first 2 people that book from an organization who come to your event will get the free tickets, but the third person will then be required to pay. So by making sure that people have set up their members and their admins means that it's less work for us in having to process and allocate free tickets. They should just be able to do that themselves by clicking attend, and that should give them the tickets that they need. I can add my logo here as well. So again, I've got a Roundel logo here. This one is my general business one that I use, so it's chopped a little bit, but that doesn't matter too much because it's still quite small within the app. And if you want to leave, if you don't want to retain this information at all, you can obviously delete it by checking the delete box and then save. So I'm going to just close this down. So that kind of covers all the component elements of how you set your profile up within the Buzz app. I obviously can't write the content for you, particularly when you're talking about your business, but I would suggest that you keep it to 1 or 2 paragraphs. The reason being, let me just go back to here. So go back to the newsfeed. So here on the newsfeed, for example, just want to show you. So between each of the events, here are the Buzz Plus elevated profile accounts where you've added that piece of artwork. So when I click on Paul, you can see it's got a hand on it, which means that it will click through to Paul's website. And this is refreshing all the time. So you can see Jackie Parker has now replaced Paul because I've stepped away and come back. And as I said, within my 30-mile radius, I have Banbury here. So I'm just going to click on this Banbury one because I'm not 100% certain what's on here. So as you can see here, Lisa Marie has written about who she is and her business. Louise French, who's one of her ambassadors, also done the same. But this is quite long, quite a long paragraph. Okay, Ilsa hasn't put anything on. Jack FM are a sponsor. G-Hawk Accounting are a sponsor. And Finders Keepers are a sponsor. So you can see if you write great big long paragraphs, what actually happens is people don't scroll all the way down to see the information. So keep it short, keep it snappy, and it will have much more impact. So thank you all very much for your time. I hope you found this useful. If you need to ask any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to either myself or Emma. We're always here to help. Thank you all very much.